Well, ladies and gents, we've got rumoured story details for Snow White Remake, and my god, does it sound terrible. Couldn't be any further from what we know Snow White to be. Socialist liberal. Or a liberal socialist. Independent. Oh, strong woman. Does this sound like that timeless, moral sort of love story that we heard? No? No, it doesn't, does it? No, it sounds abysmal. Sounds right up Rachel Zegler's street, though. Sounds right up that street. So let's take a look. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Oh, boy howdy. Terrible stuff. So Snow White, rumoured story details surface. Snow White will be, and I quote, an independent liberal socialist. Great. There's no dwarfs in it either. And they're bandits, a bit like Robin Hood. Yay. Yay. That sound good to you? Doesn't sound good to me. But that sounds absolutely atrocious. Not going to lie, that sounds absolute wank. And it is interesting because this is the movie which made Disney what it is. It's their first feature animation. They bet everything on it. Quite literally. Just piss in their face, that matter, does it? You know, the legacy. Don't matter, who cares? So Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was released in 1937 and went a long way in putting Walt Disney on the map. I mean, it did. That is what put them on the map. A wave of what have become beloved animated classics followed. Pinocchio, Fantasia, Dumbo. And I mean, that was literally in just 3 or 4 years following from Snow White. So inevitably, this is what they say anyway, there are elements of the original Snow White movie that haven't aged well. Like what? Like what? What didn't age well? Well, the fact that there's dwarfs. Who cares? The dwarfs don't care. Actual dwarfs in our real world don't care. In fact, they're butthurt and annoyed that they're not getting a job. And rightfully so, because people are offended on their behalf. Cool. So for some reason, Mark Webb's upcoming live-action movie has set out to reinvent the wheel and fix what wasn't broken. So that's funny. Both the Seven Dwarfs and the Prince are out of the remake, and comments from lead star Rachel Zegler have only served to make the backlash worse. Now, we have additional details on the bandits. That's right. No dwarfs, but we've got bandits. I wonder what kind of bandits they are. Including the fact Snow White's new love interest is not a prince, but Jonathan. Just rando Jonathan. Not Jonathan. Weird. So he's a member of a group that's clearly akin to Robin Hood's Merry Men. That's literally the whole point of it. Absolutely ridiculous. So the comment bound to send the internet into a frenzy, however, comes when we learned that Snow White herself is an independent liberal socialist. In this version of the classic tale, it sounds like she and these bandits will lead a revolution against the evil queen. Just let that sink in. An independent liberal socialist, and they're going to lead a revolution against the evil queen. Oh my god. Honestly. Seriously. I mean, look, it's got a screenplay by Greta Gerwig and Erin Cressida Wilson, so I can believe all of this. I can absolutely believe all of this. So this comes to us from My Time to Shine Hello, who's a pretty renowned leaker. And he tweeted this out. So he says, the people that save Snow White in this version are called the bandits. Jonathan, the male love interest, who isn't a prince, is also a bandit. Because you can't have men do anything good in this world. They can't be princes. Not allowed. Not allowed. So they're basically like Robin Hood. They steal from the Queen to feed the poor. Now that's admirable. That's something which I can get on board for. That's cool. The rest of it, not so much. Snow White herself is an independent liberal socialist in this version, and with the bandits leads a revolution against the evil Queen. Great. Good time. Just atrocious. Are you excited for Snow White? Right, I mean, let's break this down. We'll get to some of the replies. So let's break this down. Don't call it Snow White when it's very clearly not Snow White. That's dumb. the original's beloved for a reason. There's nothing wrong with the original. There's nothing wrong with people being sort of, you know, having a love story or something to aspire to or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. That's great. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Nothing. No, can't have Prince anymore. You know, can't have a prince. Got to just be Jonathan, member of a bandit. Can't have dwarfs anymore. Just called bandits. I mean, this is quite literally Robin Hood, isn't it? It's Robin Hood and Maid Marian. Stop appropriating my culture, alright? That's British. You poo face. God, absolutely ridiculous. No wonder there is such heavy backlash surrounding this. If that is true, that she's an independent liberal socialist, if that is true, and they're going to lead this weird revolution against the evil queen, this is absolutely going to tank. And it's hilarious because Rachel Zegler would have starred in 3 flops in a row. West Side Story, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, where she played a literal pedo. And then this movie. That's 3 flops in a row. Ridiculous. Garbage. So yeah, obviously people are like, yeah, not happy. So in this version, the Queen is the good guy. Maybe. Try to keep her country running, while some bint called Snow White and her bandits are running around in Just Stop Oil t-shirts, causing the kingdom's roads to become chocked full of horses and carts. Love it. So I'm sorry for saying this, but why does it feel like a parody made by the far right? Only because it's worded that way. Nothing has been revealed yet, plus Greta Gerwig is an exceptional writer and filmmaker. No, she's not. She ain't. She ain't at all. Renowned feminist, but never mind. So they basically remade the Mirror Mirror movie. For that, just watch Mirror Mirror. I feel like they're being super weird about the dwarfs thing. Like, people realise that there's a difference between a real human being with dwarfism and the mythological fantasy race dwarf, right? Like mining, metalworking, blacksmithing, squat, burly, bearded dwarves. Yeah, people do know the difference. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, it's literally Mirror Mirror. What on earth is going on? Again, so are you excited for this? Again, no one. No, not at all. It's Disney Remake is not watching any of these. Some aren't good. Not even a little bit. I'm begging Disney to stop remaking their classics. No. They're stealing the plot of Snow in Once Upon a Time. I think I'd rather drop a brick on my foot. This is going to absolutely tank. This is going to tank. I mean, look at these things. Fucking hell. Look at this. Garbage. I think this one is supposed to be a bloke, isn't it? Why is he wearing that round his head? God damn. You only got one dwarf, and then this is Snow White. So there you go. Independent liberal socialist Snow White. You excited or not? Get with it, guys. That's the future.